Happy Friday, Top Ham Rivalry listeners. It's Jackson and Bill. We are back. It's the weekly review. It's the last weekend of the season. Everything's crazy. We got a little bit of everything this weekend. We got basically the playoffs starting. We got teams collapsing. We got teams maybe not collapsing. We're here. We're here for it.
We got teams collapsing. That's a good intro. Hey, we got teams that they're
They're
having their
imploding.
hearts broken. But hey, we're here. Let's go.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's been bad.
Spoken like a true Braves fan, right? I mean, come on. What do you
Second
expect,
hottest team
everybody?
in
This guy's a
baseball.
Braves fan. He's
Second
all
hottest
bitter.
team
He's
in
all
baseball.
salty,
I
right?
look. The Braves are a lot of things, but they're not the Mets having a monumental collapse. So
Easy, easy there, Tiger. Easy there, Tiger. Let's not. There's another team. Well, we'll get to that when we talk about maybe collapses. There's a team that has collapsed worse than the Metropolitans.
yes, there unfortunately there is.
So what do you got for number one, Jackson? Let's just dive into it. Number one, numero uno.
you
Mm.
know, I reference it. Let's bring it up. The Mets and the Tigers, both that, people were saying, is this a World Series matchup in June? It has gone horribly. The Mets are currently sitting one game up. They have no tiebreaker against the Reds or the Diamondbacks with 3 games to play. So they have to play better than them, essentially. They're playing Miami, who are notorious New York Mets slayers this weekend. It's going
Mhm.
to be rough for the Metropolitans. They got to really find a way to win this series this weekend and hope the Reds don't sweep.
Okay, now everybody, here's the premise of this show. Because Jackson just broke the cardinal rule. Okay. And I'm going to call him out on it. We've been doing this show for 100 years. And if this is the first time you're listening to it, well, where you been? Right. The cardinal rules Jackson says one, I say one. Jackson says one, I say one. Jackson is not supposed to say the Metropolitans and the Tigers because the Tigers was going to be my number one. But
Well,
whatever, Jackson, you did the intro. You can make the rules,
you know,
whatever.
I can just put it as, I'll piggyback on, you could talk about the Tigers for your number one, but
Oh, no, no, no. Now I'm not going to. You ruined the whole thing for me. I'm going to
you
take
keep,
my marbles out of the sandbox and I'm
you
going
can't
home.
you can't put up all that brouhaha and then say reject my gift, take my gift. But this National League wild card has been the Mets falling apart and nobody wanting to take it.
Mhm.
Um, honestly, it's whoever gets that last wild card spot is probably going to get swept in the first round. I'm going to be fully honest with you.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. I do not know. I do not know about that, sir.
Well, they have to play the Dodgers, so yeah, probably.
Uh, that's probably true. Yeah, the last I was thinking American League. I was thinking when you were talking that. Yes,
Yeah.
of course. Well, they're not playing the Dodgers. Jackson, you got to say the whole name.
Oh, the Monstars. Sorry, my bad.
No, the America's team, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Hey,
So
I
yes,
didn't lose. I didn't lose that bet, so I don't have to say it's not my problem.
everybody, if you're listening to this, Grand Slam Sam over on Instagram lost a bet to me, right? And you'll see it on Instagram. But it's once it's over, it's over. I'll talk about the bet later. I'll talk about it next week. But Jackson, you're right. The Mets and the Tigers have had epic collapses. The Tigers worse than the Mets, believe it or not, because remember mid-August with like 40 games left to play, the Tigers were up by 14. And as they start tonight, it's basically a 3 game series where the Tigers are playing Boston, and currently they're winning. And then um, uh, the Cleveland Guardians are being hosted by Texas Rangers. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
the whole crazy thing about the AL Central thing is, Cleveland getting back into a wild card spot's amazing, but taking sole possession of first place, even if it was just for a day, staggering.
Well, and here's the funny part. If the playoffs were to start today, before these games today, right? If the playoffs were to start today, you would have the Yankees hosting the Red Sox for the best of three series, and you would have the Guardians, who own the tiebreaker, hosting the Tigers in a best of three with
You know,
Seattle and Toronto just kind of hanging out, going, all right,
yeah, let them rip each other apart.
yeah, yeah.
It,
So
it's weird.
yes, it's very weird. But at one point, Jackson, you did have at one point you had the Red Sox, the Yankees, and Toronto all kind of like right there where it would be a three-way tie. And I want to see that happen because I want to see what happens. I just want to see that happen because I want to see Major League Baseball like fumble that, right?
And they probably have some sort of, what's your record when a lefty's pitching and it's a
Yeah.
Sunday and it's 2 o'clock p.m. at the game start time and they went off
If the
that time.
wind
They're
is
one to
going
know in
north
those
by
games.
northeast by 10 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would
The Yankees have a higher payroll, so they win the tiebreaker or something like that.
Okay, my number one is America's team, the Dodgers. Okay, now I joke about that for those of you just listening to the show. I am a Dodger fan. Jackson is a Braves fan. We definitely don't hold that against Jackson. The Dodgers have been banged up, beat up, prodded, poked, everything. When you look at their starting lineup and their pitching rotation to start the season, it looked deadly. Like it looked in some senses, it could have even looked more deadly than Murder's Row, the 1927 Yankees. Injuries have come into play something significant. But I want to give much love to the Dodgers, and I'm going to actually pull a Jackson here, and I'm going to do two for one. Um, First ballot Hall of Famer Clayton Kershaw has announced his retirement. Good for him. Good for him. Jackson, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Does Clayton Kershaw get the first ballot Hall of Fame nod if you're voting?
uh, if somebody doesn't vote for them, they should get their vote taken away.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the guy who pitched for 18 years, Jackson, who has less than 100 losses.
He was the best pitcher in baseball for like a dozen years.
Well, yeah,
Arguably, probably for sure for like 6 or 7 years, and then arguably for another 6 or 7 years when healthy. So
yeah,
it to me, it's just kind of a joke that people are like, "Is he a first ballot Hall of Famer?" The answer is yes.
yeah, yeah. 1,000%. 1,000%. 1,000%. So I mean, congratulations to the Dodgers. They had a really banged up season. Unfortunately for the Padres got banged up at the wrong time. They got banged up in late August, September, where the Dodgers dealt with it April, May, June, July, and we're starting to get healthy in August, September. Um, yeah, but it was interesting. So Jackson, that's my number one.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the Dodgers kind of navigate through the playoffs with how unreliable their bullpen has been.
No, hold
Talent's
on. We're
there.
my
Hold on.
my hey,
I'm
I got some stuff to say about bullpens, so don't
okay.
yuck my yum here. We haven't even started
I won't go too far, but it'll be interesting how to see how they shuffle around all their starters.
yet.
Roki Sasaki came out of the bullpen the other day for him. I think that's going to be kind of an interesting dynamic for the Dodgers in the playoffs,
Mhm.
utilizing guys like that. I It might be effective, it might not be. We'll see. It's a lot different not coming out of the bullpen, in September than it is in
Thousand
October.
percent, 1,000%, 1,000%. Okay, so what do you have for number two?
For the first time in a quarter century, the Seattle Mariners have won the division. Um,
Mhm.
yeah. Well, what can you say? They're led by, big dumper there, Cal Raleigh, who's we might talk about him again in a minute, so I won't talk about him too much. But the Mariners have done it. They won a very critical series last week with Houston. They swept them. And I think the Mariners kind of feel like a sneaky team in the AL that you got to watch out for. They have a really good pitching staff, an underrated bullpen, and a lineup of guys who can actually hit. The Mariners being able to hit is crazy. They got Cal Raleigh, they got Julio Rodriguez, they got Eugenio Suarez. They got some pop in the middle of that order, and it'll be really interesting to see how far that can take the Mariners in the postseason, on the back of this kind of surprise playoff berth or division title. I don't think the playoff berth was a surprise, but the division title certainly. I don't think a lot of people picked them to win the division this year.
No, no, I didn't. I didn't. And you nailed it perfectly. I legit said if you can bring somebody around J-Rod and be able to pitch if somebody's going to protect him, it's going to make him better and it's going to make the team better. Cal Riley was that guy this year. Randy, cross the arms of Rosarina. I mean, this guy, they hit a bunch of home runs. They did a bunch of things that they needed to do, but it wasn't just one guy that you were looking at. Now people look over and think, I got to pitch to J Rod because I don't want that. I don't want Big Dumpa after him, right? So,
Yeah, so Seattle's just, one of those teams where this might be the team we'll be talking about at the end of October,
mhm.
that makes a run in the American League because I don't like saying it. I'm not really convinced by any of the other AL teams
Yeah,
as like a clear favorite.
yeah, 100%, 100%. That's a good call. Now I'm going to go back to the bullpens, but before I go to the bullpens, Jackson, I have to tell you, last Saturday, last Saturday after our episode aired, we had a softball game in Laguna Hills, California, Southern California, for those of you that aren't familiar. And we ended up having, I think, 41 people registered to play. I think we ended up having 36 or 37 that actually played. But we had fans in the stands, we had water, we had Gatorade, we had Big League Chew, we had everything. And it was so much fun, Jackson. It was so much fun, so much so that we're going to do it again October 25th. Same place. So you need to hop the Concord and be out here to play October 25th.
All right, I'll try.
Okay, so number two is the bullpens. And I'm not talking about just the Dodgers bullpen. You mentioned Roki Sasaki. I think Clayton Kershaw is going to get a shot in the bull. It depends on baseball is no longer a game where your starting pitcher goes 7, 8, 9 innings. They get a big pat on the fanny and get high fives, raises and bonuses if they can go on and get 15 outs. If you're doing the math, that's 5 innings, guys and gals. Um, in a best of three series, if you're a team like the Dodgers, where you can pitch Yamamoto game one, Blake Snell game two, Tyler Glasnow game three, right? That leaves Roki, that leaves Kershaw, that leaves a number of guys, Emmett Sheehan, that can be in that bullpen and go long relief for you. So uh, teams that are there are going to need to use their bullpens very well, but very economically, especially to get out of the wild card round. You have to use them to get. I mean, right now in the National League, you got Milwaukee and you got Philadelphia. Philadelphia's got some rings. Milwaukee does not have rings. Um, in the American League, you've got technically right now you have Toronto and you have Seattle, both very very good clubs. So now, as with Toronto losing Bo Bichette for a significant period of time, that's a different story. But you've got to be good with your bullpens. Jackson, talk to me about the bullpens.
Uh, yeah, I think Toronto is one of those teams with a sneaky bullpen. They have a lot of really good guys this year. I can't remember. They have a rookie pitcher whose name I can't remember, and I apologize. I'm the stats guy, not the names guy. But he's got like a 2.5 ERA out of the bullpen. That's the kind of stuff you look for to kind of set up your middle innings, especially come playoff baseball. Because, like you said, it's getting 15 outs. And unless you're a really big name pitcher, a Yoshinobu Yamamoto, if Paul Skenes pitching the playoffs, you ride Paul Skenes until Paul Skenes isn't good anymore. You know, a Max Fried. Um, you're going to sit there and you're going to ride them until you need to go to the bullpen, but it helps those managers so much to have those extra guys. So when your two or three starter gets in trouble and it's a close game, you can just pull the trigger.
Yeah,
The bullpen
yeah,
gets the job done. So it's going to be the key in the playoffs as it always is. I think the team I'm worried about the most bullpen wise getting into the postseason would probably, the current postseason picture would probably be the Mets. We already talked about them a little bit right now. They don't have a bridge to Edwin Diaz. Their bullpen
Dodgers
looks
suck.
gassed. You think the
Dodgers.
Dodgers have a worse bullpen than the Mets?
Yeah, in fact, if I were Doc Gooden, if I was Doc Roberts, I don't know that I would put Tanner Scott on the wild card roster.
Wow.
I might. I mean, listen, he has been bad is too nice of a term. He has been awful,
I mean,
awful.
that's a fair assessment. Here, 10 blown saves. I don't have to look that one up. I know he leads MLB at 10 blown saves.
Right. I mean, we're talking awful. And this may be a situation, Jackson, where you put him on again. Everybody, if you don't know, there's a traveling squad. So there's a group of guys that get to practice, not necessarily with the team, but they get to practice. So if somebody gets hurt, you have to pull from the practice squad. I'd put him on the practice squad. I would put him on the traveling squad because at least you can pull him up if somebody gets hurt. But let me read you how bad this is, Jackson. This is just his last 5 games. On the 15th of September, 1 inning, 1 strikeout, no hits, no runs. Um, but he took the loss. It was the 10th inning, right? The 17th and the 19th he pitched. Um, he gave up hits, walks in both of those. On the 23rd, he gave up 2 runs in 2/3 of an inning. On the 25th, he gave up runs. So he currently, right now, he is currently sitting at 1-4 record. Not a big deal. ERA 4.82, Jackson. 4.82.
Right.
He's pitched 56 innings and he's given up 30 earned runs in 56 innings. And
That good?
and this is the dude that you're paying. Like, I'm trying to wonder. I mean, at one point, I'm wondering if what's their names? If the Padres said, "Hey, listen, we'll throw you a little extra cash if you start blowing this stuff." Right? I know you're going to go over to the Dodgers, but hey, listen. I mean, this guy. I'm trying to look it up right now, Jackson. So give me a second here. But this is, I mean, this is awful. This is literally, literally awful. The Dodgers are paying him this season $16 million.
Yep.
Next year, $16 million. The following year, 20 million. The following year after that, 20 million. I mean, uh, the guy's got $56 million owed to him. He's got almost a 5 ERA. Practice squad, baby.
I mean, and that's the big thing. If you ever wonder why your team, lets the closer walk at the end of the year, the closers never get the big contract money, and that's why relief pitching's so volatile. It's hard to pitch out of the bullpen, and that's why, when we talk about bullpens and moving starters to the bullpen in October, it's a scary thing to do because if you can't handle the pressure, it's magnified in the postseason. That mistake, that home run loses you the game. It's not, we'll get them tomorrow. It's, oh, now we're down 2 games to 1 or 3 games to 1, and we have to win every single game.
Well, and the reason why I disagreed with you with the Mets is at least the Mets have a dedicated closer,
That is
right?
fair.
The Dodgers are closing by committee. I just read you Tanner Scott. If I read it, you Alex Vesia. Kirby Yates is out for the season with an injury. Blake Trinan, Kirby Yates, Vesia for the most part, and Tanner Scott have all been horrific. Who's going to close the game? Kershaw. Okay, I'm okay with that actually, but I mean, because
Hey,
some,
you got to ride some guys. You just ride Yamamoto all the way.
Mhm. I mean, remember some of these guys are going to look at Kershaw when he comes in pressure situations, and they're going to fear the back of his baseball card, not what he's capable of now, the back of his baseball card. True to form.
True to form.
True to form. Okay, Jackson. Before we get into number three, everybody, you got to hear this. You can get your own personalized baseball card. Okay. You go to topfanrivalry.com, you go to the team store, you select your personalized baseball card, and don't pay full price. You pay a price, but you use the discount code at checkout, Jackson. I can never remember the name of the what's the discount code again?
I believe it is Code Jackson. You want
It's
10%
your
off all
name.
your
It's
stuff.
Code Jackson.
My name. Look, it's right.
You're giving away my money? That's okay.
I think
That's
if you're watching the video, I think you can see it on the screen, like right here.
Yeah, right there.
except it's all
Right,
caps when you put it in.
right over there, right there. All caps. There you go. But yeah, go check it out. I know people use the baseball card and sign them and give them to friends. I know one person that uses it when they go out and they're, looking for, going out to a bar or whatever. Instead of giving people their phone number, they give them a baseball card and they write their phone number on the back of it. I mean, it's pretty funny. So, I mean, do what you got to do, right?
Yep.
All right, Jackson, what you got number three? I'm going to shock you with my number three, by the way.
I want to talk about a guy who's going to win the Cy Young Award in the National League this year. Let's talk about Paul Skenes real quick.
Okay.
Um, he finishes his season 187 two-thirds innings pitched, 1.97 ERA,
Mhm.
sub one whip at .95, 216 strikeouts. He's the NL Cy Young, argue with a wall. Uh, I think Paul Skenes is going to probably win two or three more of these um,
At a
in his
very,
career,
very bare minimum right now. I
at
mean, at a very
least.
bare
Yeah,
minimum. But keep going, Jackson. I like where you're going with this, but keep
at
going.
least, but it's sad that he plays for the Pirates, who are an iconic franchise who have a bad owner, so they don't get to do anything come this time of year. But I think to me, it's crazy that Paul Skeens back-to-back years sub two ERA to start his career. I think we're probably witnessing, probably the best pitcher of this decade.
Yeah, yeah, and it's hard. It's hard with him because he pitches for Pittsburgh. He's 21 and 13. If he pitched for teams that score more runs, he would have probably 30 wins by now
Oh,
in his first two
If he
campaigns.
played for the Yankees or the Dodgers, he would have won every start.
Yeah.
I think he gave up 4 runs once.
Guys and gals listening to this, this is an amazing, these are amazing numbers. The dude has pitched 320 and two-thirds innings. Now remember that 320 and two-thirds. He has a career ERA of 1.96. He has given up 230 hits, only 230 hits in 320 innings. And remember, 320.2 innings, the guy has 386 strikeouts. I mean, the guys. I listen. 216 strikeouts this year. He stays on this trajectory. I mean, he's young enough, right? He's young enough. He stays on this trajectory. Heads up, Nolan Ryan. Just saying. I'm just saying. He's got to play. He's got to play 20 seasons. But
Yeah, I was gonna say let's not let's pump the brakes a little bit there.
no, 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 no. I'm liking what this. The guy's 23 years old, Jackson.
Yeah, but the pitch like Nolan Ryan, you have to not get hurt like Nolan Ryan did.
That's
That's
very
very hard
true.
to do. But
Yeah, and he earliest arbitration for him is 2027. So he's a pirate for a couple more years.
at least, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's crazy.
So Jackson, what impresses you the most? Is it the numbers? Is it what impresses you most about this guy?
The pitch mix. He's got
Mm,
the triple digit fastball, a wipeout slider, his splinker or whatever, his splitter
hmm
that he throws is good against righties and lefties. You don't see a lot of pitchers that have an out pitch, a strikeout pitch that works on both sides of the
hmm
plate. And it's just so devastating with a fastball, his quality to have that. And then I believe he throws a curveball as well. So he's got, three, four plus pitches. He can locate all of them. He doesn't walk a ton of guys. He doesn't get nobody makes solid contact and he misses a lot of bats. So
hmm
I to me he just looks comfortable. He looks like a Hall of Fame pitcher when he's on the mound. He
Yeah,
just goes and mows you down for 6 innings and
he does. He does. He's pretty amazing. I've seen him pitch, not in person, but I've seen him pitch on TV. He's pitched against America's team one time and that I watched and he's a rare talent, especially at 23 years old. I'm gonna I'm and don't at me everybody, but I'm going to make a reference to Wayne Gretzky. I'm going to make a reference to Michael Jordan. He sees a lot more of the game and the perspective in the field than just that one pitch, that one batter. And you can tell it in his pitch selection. And like you say, he misses bats. So, all right, Jackson, can I surprise you with number three?
Yep.
I want to talk to you about the person that I think has a very good shot at winning the American League Cy Young, but not so much his numbers. I want to tell you how much respect I have for Tariq Skubal, and you know why. You know where I'm going with this. So this week in Cleveland, you got first and third. You're up by a run. The Tigers are up 2-1. First and third, one out. The Tigers want to squeeze to tie this game up. I want to say it was the sixth or the seventh inning. And when a batter squares around the bunt, especially with the runner on third, your job is if he squares around the bunt early enough, your job is to pitch inside to stall him off. Okay. Well, unfortunately, the pitch got a little too inside and it hit David Fry in the face. Scooble's reaction to that, throwing down his glove, taking off his hat, he felt horrific. That shows me the character of the individual beyond the player. So, I mean, I tip my hat to the guy. I mean, I think that that was an absolutely impressive way to handle things. Jackson, what do you think?
Yeah. No, I agree. Especially when you're in the, it's a rivalry game, tight playoff race,
Hmm.
and hopefully Fry's all right.
Yeah.
99,
Well, he's going to be
99.
out. He's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks, so he's going to miss the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, the most important thing is his overall health, not whether or not he's
Yeah.
available for the playoffs next week.
Correct.
Honestly.
Correct.
But he was awake, he was alert.
Hmm.
That's rough. 99 tipping off the bat and hitting you in the face
Hmm.
is probably the worst way you can get it. You'd
Hmm.
almost rather it hit you straight.
Yeah.
But I think Scooble kind of, he's another guy like Paul Skenes where he misses a lot of bats, misses a lot of barrels. It's really hard to hit, and if you score 3 runs, it feels like a win.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter what the score is. It's like, hey, we got three.
Yeah. Yeah. His reaction, I didn't, I didn't understand. I saw on social media like Scooble's reaction, but I didn't see the play. You just see the reaction,
Yeah.
right? And I thought, huh, I wonder what happened. So when I got home and I watched what happened, I mean, this guy understands that, first of all, it wasn't on purpose, right?
No.
And I'm talking to a Reds fan the next day and on the phone, Jackson, they're telling me all this stuff. And I said, listen, and he says, nobody ever does it on purpose. I said, oh, yeah, let's go back to the squeeze play in Chicago when Ron Dibble was on the mound and the ball, like the squeeze was successful. And he literally threw it at the player's legs and tried to trip him up in the early 90s. And he goes, well, that was that. And I said, that was what? Different? Don't say it was different. I mean, so Scooble's reaction was to me, it showed the character of the man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're probably right that he's going to win the AL Cy Young Award. Although, shout out to my sleeper pick, Brian Wu.
Yeah. Woo woo. Yeah. I'll tell you right now, if I was voting, just that reaction alone, if I was going to vote for Garrett Crochet, my vote got switched in that instant because it showed me something about the person. Not that Garrett Crochet is not a great guy. He is. I'm not saying that. But that reaction, he knew what his job was, and the ball got away from him, and he was ticked that it happened. I mean,
Yeah.
I was surprised that he was able to stay in the game. I was surprised that Scuba was able to stay in the game. He was visibly distraught.
Yeah.
Right?
He got, I think he threw a wild pitch on the next pitch
Yeah, yeah.
and then he kind of settled back down. But
Well, again, it's September. It's still hot in Cleveland, right? It's still a
it's
little
hot
humid.
everywhere. I don't know about in California, but it's hot up here.
Yeah, it's still hot. It's still humid. Balls slip, everything. Okay, Jackson, take me through your honorable mention.
Let's talk about a guy who joined the 400 home run club, Mike Trout.
Yeah.
Congratulations. I'm glad he made it there. I mean, he was in the Hall of Fame already. This just looks nice on the stat sheet. Don't give me that look.
Hmm.
He has
Hmm.
3 MVP awards.
Hmm. You have guys that are in the 400 club that aren't in the Hall.
He has 3 MVP awards and 87 WAR.
And what about Andrew?
Andrew Jones,
Huh?
that's a whole separate discussion, but like 3 MVP award, like come on, Mike Trout could have retired at the age of like 27 and probably made it to the Hall of Fame. Let's be real.
I don't know that he's a first ballot guy. I do. Do I think that he's a famer? Probably. But remember, the guy's hitting 230 this season, and he's still got 4 more years on his contract. If he continues to hit 230, it's gonna make. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of question marks, right? He playing a full season, not getting hurt, hitting 230, like all of these things.
I understand that, but you could probably count on one hand how many players have won 3 MVP awards, Bill.
Well, besides for you,
What?
I mean, you're the MVP every year of this show. So
Oh,
this is like your
no.
third year of MVP caliber, right? Like besides
Are you
you.
sure? I think I got snubbed last year. I think Sam was the MVP, but
No, good call, Mike Trout. Good call, Mike Trout.
yeah, but
I mean,
that's my honorable mention for this week. I had to bring it up.
yeah,
It feels nice for him to get there, and I know you're right. He is only hitting 220, but
yeah.
I mean, he's got a
There,
773 OPS in an injury-plagued season. So like, is he that bad?
there's an argument to be made. You and I will have to do this offline because there's a great show coming up with you and I. There's a couple of really good shows in the off season that you and I are going to do, and this is probably one of them. So, but I like that. I like that. Before we wrap up with my honorable mentions and take it home, everybody, if you're not familiar with what Top Fan does or you want to know more about what we do, if you go to the Top Fan Rivalry page.com and you click on the join the clubhouse, you can join the clubhouse. It's free, and then you'll get data from us all the time. So, all right, Jackson, I my honorable mention is the season is ending. I'm looking at both leagues. I'm looking at MVPs. We have now broke it down to probably four candidates, two in each league, right? Probably Schwarbaum versus Shohei, Judge versus Cal are probably your four. Is there another name that needs to be in there?
No.
Yeah, I mean it's
I
probably
I mean I mean Jose Ramirez is going to finish in the top five in MVP voting again, but
Mhm.
he's not going to win it.
No, he's not going to. And he that name makes me so frustrated because he is putting together a Hall of Fame career that nobody's paying attention to because Cleveland has not been dominant, and he's in a league with people like Aaron Judge.
Yeah,
But
he's gonna finish with like 400 home runs, 400 stolen bases. We're gonna go, huh? Oh yeah.
oh yeah, that happened. When did that happen? Right?
Oh, just
I'm
the entire last decade.
exactly. I mean, when you look at the guy's stats, the guy has 1,665 hits. He's got 285 home runs, and his career batting average is 279. Let's not forget. Let's not forget that he has in his career 283 stolen bases. So he got 285 home runs and 283 stolen bases. Like, and I mean, the dude's only 32 years old. So, but nobody's paying attention to that because he was in a league with Mike Trout. He's in the league with Aaron Judge. He's in the league now with Cal Riley. Nobody's paying attention to it. But congratulations to those four guys that I think are the top guys. Unfortunately, I think that you're going to see Shohei win it. Even though Schwarber's hit more home runs, I think you'd look at Shohei. Shohei's done something that nobody else has ever done. You and I talked about this in the show last week. 50 strikeouts, 50 home runs. I mean, say what you will, but that's Shohei's got a better batting average, things like that. I think Cal wins it on the American League side. Um, Again, you take Cal
not
out of
not
that lineup. I don't know that
I was gonna
Seattle's as
say
good.
not by Aaron Judge. Yeah, it's not Aaron Judge's fault he doesn't win it. Because I got some fun numbers for you. Aaron
Go.
Judge will be the fifth if he hits 330, will be the fifth player to hit 330, have 50 home runs in the season.
Yeah. I
And
want him.
the other four are pretty good. It's Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle, Jimmy Fox, and Hack Wilson.
Oh, I've heard all those. Wait, Mickey Mantle, the golfer? Babe Ruth. He played hockey. What's he
That's a
have to do with?
single season RBI leader, Hack Wilson, to you.
Yeah,
For
the
those of you who don't know, it's like 190 what is it, 183?
183. Yeah. So he, I got to tell you, Jackson. I mean, he's done everything he possibly can for personal reasons. I want him to win it because I did pull his card out of a 2025 Topps Chrome. So I can sell it back to Topps for I think it's $40 or something like that. He's got to win the MVP. So let's go Arson. Everybody
Yeah.
vote Arson Judge.
It's 191. What I was going to say first was right. I don't know why I thought 183. I don't know where I got that from.
191. 191.
191. Yeah. Hack Wilson he won MVP that year, guys. 56 home runs, 191 RBIs.
So we covered the Tigers, we covered the Mets, we covered Seattle, we covered Paul Skenes, we covered the Dodgers and Kershaw, we covered Scooble, we covered bullpens, MVP racing, and Mike Trout. I think we did a good job for today's show. What do you think?
I think we did pretty good too.
Awesome. Well, Top Fan Rivalry supporters, next week we will talk more a little bit on the corporate side of things, talk a little bit more about our sponsors. Don't forget to
We'll be
join the
talking
clubhouse.
playoffs next week.
Yeah, yeah. And don't forget to join the clubhouse. It's free to join. Look forward to having you. And we'll be talking playoffs next week, everybody. Enjoy your time. Hope you enjoyed Friday Night Lights right here at Top 10 Rivalry. Talk to you soon. Bye bye now.